Okay, so this is pretty cool. Something I've learned today, and I thought of sharing it with you guys, especially for my international friends who are thinking about investing, moving your money to Singapore, and stuff like that. Basically, I want to do a little sharing today because I've learned from my team members here in Singapore, why is it that people come to Singapore to invest? Like, what makes it so attractive, right? So I'm gonna pull out a slide here in my little thing. And what we're going to talk about is this thing called new money, old money. So, what is new money and old money? So, new money means that this would be the people who is the first generation building generation wealth for the next of kin, right? And old money is basically people who came from generation wealth. So that's why you sometimes see some friends or sometimes you see on social media, why is it that they can afford a certain lifestyle at a particular age? Why is their family so rich, right? Well, in fact, it's actually not that they are rich, but it was because of proper planning. That's myth number one, to be very honest with you. So, in this, video, I want to share with you some of the things I've learned, as well as this slide that was given to me as well, and kind of a walkthrough as to this old money, new money thing, this concept, how it works, so on and so forth. So I'm very new to this slide, and it's really kind of like my first impression of it. So we just go as it is, right? So there's no script, no nothing. I'm just looking at it is very impromptu. So yeah. So anyways, let's see. Based on this slide, it's very interesting because one of the in 2018, right, the ultra rich people, like majority of the people, the money comes from the USA. But in the upcoming years and the kind of what's it called, the forecast for this upcoming few years, can you imagine that now Indonesia outbeats US and then followed by India? Like, at least for me, the first impression is like, oh my god, these countries in my head was the impression of they are low income bracket kind of thing. But but based on this statistics, right, it's like it's being replaced. Like there's this shift in world dominance in terms of its wealth. So that's quite interesting to learn. So this was the concept of the different types of riches, old money and new money. Okay, so let's see. What does the ultra rich do? So just now we mentioned about that when we say someone is rich or they come from a rich family like the like 富二代 or something like that, right? In Chinese, actually it's not about because their family is rich, but again it's because of proper planning. So these are the three ways they do it, right? One is wealth management, wealth preservation, and then wealth transfer. And what do they mean, right? They all sound the same. So, wealth management is basically this ability to manage the money, as simple as it is, right? Like now I have $1 million. Where do I want to kind of put it in? In what kind of vehicles? For example, if I have a $1 million asset right now, and do I want to put in a vehicle that is high risk, no guarantee, or something that is low risk, guaranteed income, for example, and a fixed percentage? So, for example, there are so many things like annuity plans or lifetime income, guaranteed lifetime income or even T-bills like government T-bills, right, which are rather safe and secure. So can you imagine at $1 million and with the current T-bill rates at 3.8%, that's like $38,000 a year. And that is almost close to, let's say, a very, I would say, a 1 year income kind of thing for basic salary kind of thing, I guess. Can you imagine for the ultra rich at $10 million and at just 3.8% or even 2%, that is close to like, I think, what, $200,000, so over $200,000 in annual passive income. So this is why the rich get richer because it's like they don't even need to think about it. It's just where do I want to put this money? Where's the safest? And what's the ROI, income, and all that kind of stuff, right? Now, the next one is wealth preservation. And wealth preservation is just basically if I have $1 million, if I don't do anything about it, because of inflation, I can buy lesser things with the same amount of money. So, aside from just the management part of things, it's like this preservation. Where do I want to put this money so that it beats the inflation? I can still buy more things with it, and at the same time get a certain dividend or payout. Right? That's the management. That's where these two comes together. And last but not least, wealth transfer is this is where your full ties are born. Where how is it that they are able to design a financial planning, the vehicles and so on and so forth, so that this money can be transferred to the next generation and the next generation without any loss per se, right? For example, one of the things is you can do is wills and trust, right? Another is let's say 101 plans or investment linked policies, or even as simple as term life or whole life policies where the insured and the insurer companies will pay the death benefit, and this money can be transferred to the next of kin. And then that's where again the wealth management and preservation comes in, because for the ultra rich, this is a large sum of money, and this could already be enough to generate a certain decent paycheck or steady income through passive means, right? So that's really where the ultra people is. So okay, I'm gonna skip this, skip this. So if you actually just Google search, right, like what's this thing called wealth transfer strategies? There's so many things out there. The only question is, but what about me, right? Like, what about me who is just an average Singaporean, an average human being working a 9 to 5, and it's like, what am I gonna do about it, right? So we'll come to that in perhaps another video. But I just want you to get the concept of what this whole thing, or what we call legacy planning is, right? So there is the wealth accumulation, asset diversification, wealth distribution, and legacy protection, right? So it's like there is this two case study where it talks about the traditional grandpa and the modern grandpa. One is without like any legacy planning. One is with legacy planning, right? So the first one is you have $1 million, as you can see here. Let me just show you the zoom in. And it's very simple, right? If I pass away, I can set up a will that says that my siblings, my two sons, for example, gets 50-50, half a million, half a million. That's really about it. However, with the legacy planning in mind, one would how to be smart with your money is with $1 million, he can set aside a $400,000 like aside for his own spending, like spend until, you know, your whole life. And then with the remaining 600,000, he buys, let's say, a policy that pays out, if you can see that, an insured $2 million. That means that if he passed away, the insurance sum is going to pay out $2 million, and he's only going to pay a fraction of it, right? Because these are guaranteed death benefits. That is why it is possible through an investment vehicle, vehicle lah, right? And so with this insurer payout, and then you can then give split the insurer payout at 1 million, 1 million, while if you're the modern grandpa, still enjoying your own kind of savings and investments, so on and so forth. So that's the basic concept of this, right? And then if you move forward, right, and do the same thing over and over again, that is what we call traditional, that's traditional, this is what we call legacy planning, right? And the whole system is very duplicatable. So this is actually one of the best ways to leave a legacy behind by not only enjoying your wealth, your savings, and all your hard work, but at the same time leveraging on the insurance vehicles to do this policies, legacy planning as they call it, and it's the best gift you can give to your family and your loved one as well. Okay, so in this next part of this, we're going to talk about why Singapore is one of the best places to invest. Um, one of the videos is of course political stability, okay, economic freedom. We have very rigorous financial systems in place, a lot of regulations, a lot of things being audited as well. Okay, we are tax friendly, or we're one of the friendliest tax friendly regimes, and we have the Singapore dollar game plan. Okay, so I'm going to skip all these news articles, so on and so forth. Um, but I think I want to talk about the ringgit market. And just based on, let's say, a simple forex exchange like kind of thing, look at this. If we were to compare from a ringgit standpoint to a Singapore dollar, in the last 1 year, and I'm not sure where the date is. Okay, there it is. Okay, so from March 2022 to March 2023, the value of the ringgit has dropped 7%. Okay, and if that's not shocking enough, let's look at the 2 year period. Okay, it's about average of minus 6.71%. So just based on, if you're just holding this sum of money and doing nothing with it, just leaving it in its own economy, you're already losing money compared to, let's say, the Singapore dollar, right? And this is something that we don't even need to be an investor to know that, oh my God, can you imagine if you hold a certain currency and then this currency loses the value to buy a certain thing you used to buy before, and then now it's more expensive, right? And let's look at the 5 year mark, right? From Malaysia to SGD, it's minus 10.56% in a 5 year period from 2018 until 2023. And then if we look at a 10 year, it is very scary because it has dropped from to minus 23.79% in a 10 year market cycle. This is worse. And I mean, if you just scroll down and we compare to, let's say, the S&P 500, NASDAQ, so on and so forth, if you put your money in the S&P and whatsoever, right, your money will be safer, and actually, you could actually potentially make some money as well. But if you do nothing about it, then it's really really a serious wake up call. So even let's say today, right? Like today is the 2nd of Jan. Let's see, 9th of Jan. Is it 9th of Jan? Oh my god. Uh, no, 9th of 20th of February. I'm sorry. Screen problem. Okay, it's like even if the ringgit now. Let me just bring up the calculator. Might as well show that. Okay, and we do a MYR to SGD. Okay, and we use $1 in today's market, right? If it's a $1 is 3.54. Okay, and let's look at 5 years ago. We can look at this. Okay, even if you put your money and you convert your money in Singapore today, the safety of the money is hedged because it's in Singapore dollars. Like the security of the Singapore dollar stays or actually increases because it's the opposite of the Malaysia ringgit. So what I'm trying to say is that eventually whatever the market condition is, by converting it to Sing dollars, you're already one step hedging your money, like being smart with your money. The next question is, what are you going to do with that money, right? How can you grow that money on top of just holding it? So that's where my firm or myself, we come in. Shows I'm one of the advisors at Synergy Financial in Singapore. We are an IFA, basically an independent financial advisory firm, which means that we are not here to sell you a particular set of products. We basically have access to almost 80%, based on my own research, of MAS regulated products and services. And that's how you're able to grow that money in Singapore through a legal way, audited way, a finance way. What is a finance way? What I'm trying to say is like regulated, trustworthy, blah, 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 blah. You get the point. Yep. So that's the sharing of this whole high net worth market, as well as the Malaysian market as well. Hope you learned something. This video is really for my friends who are watching me, because I know I have a following, but all you guys are very, very silent. So I hope this is helpful for you to kind of have this, oh my god, thing. And let me know if you want to have a consult or you want to have a discussion about what you can do with your money to be smart with your money. Okay, so with that said, this is Riley. You can follow me at the Abundant Riley. And yeah, let's chat. Let's meet up and see you guys soon.